Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So we read from Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 7th chapter, reading from text 34. It has no purport, so 35 we recite the Sanskrit together. And then it will go on until 38, verse 38, up to 38. 39, okay. From 34 to 39. Etat param prapasyamo na param te maheshvara mridanaya hi lokasya yaktiste vyakta karmanaha. Etat, all these things. Param, transcendental. Prapasyama, we can see. Na, not. Param, the actual transcendental position. Te, of your Lordship. Maha Ishvara, O great ruler. Mridanaya, for the happiness. He, indeed, Lokasya, of all the world. Yakti, manifested. Te, of your Lordship. Avyakta Karmana, whose activities are unknown to everyone. So the demigods, addressing Lord Shiva, offering prayers. O greatest of all rulers. Maheshvara means greatest of all rulers. Your actual identity is impossible for us to understand. As far as we can see, your presence brings flourishing happiness to everyone. Beyond this, no one can appreciate your activities. We can see this much and nothing more. Purport. When the demigods offered these prayers to Lord Shiva, their inner purpose was to please him, so that he would rectify the disturbing situation created by the hala poison. As stated in Bhagavad-Gita 7.20, Kama estair ritagyana prabhatyante nya devataha. When one worships demigods, this is certainly because of deep-rooted desires he once fulfilled by the mercy of those demigods. People are generally attached to the worship of demigods for some motive. So I read on. So I read the previous verse also. Natasya te cat asato parata parasya nancha svarupa kamane prabhavanti pumna pramadaya kim uta samstavane vayamtu tatsanga sarga vishaya api shakti matram. Even personalities like Lord Brahma and other demigods cannot understand your position, for you are beyond the moving and non-moving creation. Since no one can understand you in truth, how can one offer your prayers? It is impossible. As far as we are concerned, we are creatures of Lord Brahma's creation. Under the circumstances, therefore, we cannot offer you adequate prayers, but as far as our abilities allows, we have expressed our feelings. And then today's verse, what we recited, Eta param prapashyamo. O greatest of all rulers, your actual identity is impossible for us to understand. As far as we can see, your presence brings flourishing happiness to everyone. Beyond this, no one can appreciate your activities. We can see this much and nothing more. Sri Shuka Vacha Tat Vikshya Vyasanam Tasam Kripaya Prisha Piditaha Sarva Bhuta Surit Deva Idam Aha Satim Priyam. Sri Shukadev Goswami continued, Lord Shiva is always benevolent towards all living entities. When he saw that the living entities were very much disturbed by the poison which was spreading everywhere, he was very compassionate. Thus he spoke to his eternal consort Sati as follows. Sri Shiva Vacha Aho Bhata Bhavan Yetat Prachanam Pasya Vaishasam Kshiroda Matanot Bhutat Kala Kutat Upastitam. Lord Shiva said, my dear Bhavani, just see how all these living entities have been placed in danger because of the poison produced from the churning of the ocean of milk. Text 38. Asam prana paripsyunam vidyayam abhayam hime etavanhi prabhor artho yat dina paripalanam. It is my duty to give protection and safety to all living entities struggling for existence. Certainly, it is the duty of the Master to protect his suffering dependents. Pranay svai pranina panti sadava kshana bangurai abata vaireshu bhuteshu mohitish vatma mayaya. People in general, being bewildered by the illusory energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are always engaged in animosity towards one another. But devotees, even at the risk of their own temporary lives, try to save them. This is the characteristic of a Vaishnava, Paradukha-dukhi. A Vaishnava is always unhappy to see the conditioned souls unhappy. Otherwise, he would have no business teaching them how to become happy. In materialistic life, people must certainly engage in activities of animosity. Materialistic life is therefore compared to samsara davanala, a blazing forest fire that automatically takes place. Lord Shiva and his followers in the parampara system try to save people from this dangerous condition of materialistic life. This is the duty of devotees following the principles of Lord Shiva and belonging to the Rudra Sampradaya. There are 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas, and the Rudra Sampradaya is one of them because Lord Shiva, Rudra, is the best of the Vaishnavas, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Indeed, as we shall see, Lord Shiva drank all the poison for the benefit of humanity. Om Agyatimaranyasya Gananchana Salakayam Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So a long time ago, the Bhagavatam and the Puranas narrating the story of once the demigods and the asuras. Although normally they never work together, they work together. They cooperate together. Normally they don't cooperate. Sura asura evacha. Tvabhuta sargaloke Sura asura evacha. Vishnu bhakta smitos daiva asuras tat viparaya. Asuras always viparaya. They're always in opposition of devas. Whatever devas do, asura must be opposite, not the same. They can never come together, like day and night cannot not come together. When day is powerful or present, then the night is not here. There's no darkness. If darkness is here, there's no daylight, no sunshine, no light. Because this is the duality. We live in the world of the duality, where there is always opposition. Since time immemorial, there's opposition in the world of the duality. That's the material world. It's always full of fear, angry natures, because of lusty desires and eagerness to enjoy something in this material world. One becomes agitated, mind and senses become agitated, and one becomes angry upon each other, and destruction is taking place. But at that time, long ago, demigod, on the advice of Lord Vishnu, because the demigods are always surrendered to Lord Vishnu, to Krishna, so the Lord advised them, make a pact with the asuras, because alone you cannot achieve the desired result of journey. What is the desired result? What the demigods all desire is Amrit. What is the desire what the demons try to attain? Amrit. What means Amrita? Amrita means become immortal. Healthy life, strong, powerful, successful, all the time. Nobody wants to die. So, therefore the demons and the demigods and the demons, they have the same interest. They want to be immortal. But that's not possible in the material world. But there is a heavenly extract called Amrita. If one drinks this elixir, one has at least a very, very long, healthy life. Even become very strong and successful. Normally, this Amrita is only in possession of demigods, like Indra. Demons have no access to Amrit, although they desire it. But they have interest for it, to achieve heavenly opulences and long life, like the demigods, like Indra. Lord Vishnu, Lord Ajit, is very wise. He sees past, present, and future. He knows how ultimately how to satisfy the devotees and also the demigods who are devoted to him, although with material desire, selfish desire, because they are in the material world, they are not free of desire. They have desire for enjoying heavenly enjoyments, like that. So the demigods make a pact, trace, and a track together with the demons to churn the milk ocean. So and that happened. Lord appeared himself as Matsya avatar, because to churn the milk ocean one needs a churning rod, churning stick. So the Mandara mountain became the churning stick, but they cannot stay in the ocean without support, a pivot. So Lord Matsya agreed to be the center, the support of the Mandara mountain, and Vasuki, the heavenly snake, became the churning rope. So in this way, one side demigods and the other side demons wanted to churn. But during this churning process, first thing what was extracted was not Amrit, it was poison. Kalahuta. So this poison became extracted, and this poison was like a catastrophe of a chemical factory. If a chemical factory who is producing a lot of heavy chemicals, if such a factory explodes, that is so dangerous that all the living entities who are living nearby, they may die. Or like a nuclear bomb or a nuclear powerhouse who explodes or who is defective, then it will be very devastation taking place. So what to do? So the demigods and the demons both were concerned. Of course, the demons, they didn't know whom to approach, because they could not approach Lord Vishnu, because they have no faith in Vishnu. They're not surrendered to him. They have their own, some powerful demigods, maybe, or representatives of the demons whom they worship. Whom they consider Mahachan or worshipable, so they worship the demons. But in that time, even the demons, everyone was in problem, so they didn't know whom to approach. But the demigods, they always know when we are in dangers, whom to approach. So they approached Lord Vishnu for shelter. Vishnu Bhaktas Mito Daiva. So they approached Lord Vishnu for shelter, Lord Ajit. But Lord Ajit advised them, he already knew what was the problem. He could counteract all this poison for the safety of the whole world and for all the living entities who are embodied in this material world. But he advised, approach Mahadev. Go to Shiva, Rudra. Because he's in charge for this kind of destruction. He's the destroyer, Lord. The Lord manifested as Guna avatars in 3 forms. Shiva is the destroyer, Brahma is the creator, and Lord Vishnu is the maintainer. So approach Mahadev. And please, so how to approach Mahadev? Because Mahadev is not visible so easily even for the demigods. Because he's Mahadev, he's the greatest of all the demigods, and he is Chara Achara Guru. That means he's the Guru or the Acharya of the moving and the non-moving living entities in this material world. And he is the one who is in charge for all the Buddhas, for all the living entities who are embodied here in the material world. So he's in charge for destruction. He is in charge for helping the universe that it will not become prematurely destroyed. So they have to figure out how to approach Lord Shiva, who is always situated in peaceful mood, Dhira, and always in transcendental consciousness, Vasudev Sattva, Vishuddha Sattvam, because he always meditates about his worshipable Lord, Sankarshan. Like there are many prayers of Lord Shiva in the Srimad Bhagavatam. One prayer is I want to read. It's from 5th canto, 17th chapter, text 19. Lord Shiva is offering his prayers because he's situated in Kailash, in the on the border to the, between material and the spiritual world. Kailash, Shiva Loka. Shiva Loka, it's not Kailash, it's Shiva Loka. That's almost like Vaikuntha there. And then he is situated in Bharatvarsha, on the Earth planet. On Bharatvarsha, he's situated in Kailash, on the mountain. And he is also situated in Suta, in one of the subterranean heavenly planets. Not Sutala. Vitala, one of these Tala planets, he's there, also absorbed in meditation for the well-beings of the lower planetary systems, and then he is situated also in Ilavrita Varsha. This whole Earth region is called Jambudvip, and in the center of Jambudvip is Ilavrita Varsha. And on that Ilavrita Varsha, Lord Shiva is meditating and is worshipping his Lord, Ishtadev, Lord Sankarshan. Lord Sankarshan is an expansion of Balaram. So it's Balaram Tattva. And he is in charge for the creation. From Sankarshan, Mahavishnu, Kshirodakashai Vishnu, Garbhodakashai Vishnu becomes manifested, Ananta Shesha is manifested. So Lord Shiva is always meditating about Lord Sankarshan. And he prays, because he knows Lord Sankarshan is always in transcendental position, not affected by his own creation. So he says, we cannot control the force of our anger. Therefore, when we look at material things, we cannot avoid feeling attraction or repulsion for them. But the Supreme Lord is never affected in this way. Although he glances over the material world for the purpose of creating, maintaining and destroying it, he is not affected, even to the slightest degree. Therefore, one who desires to conquer the force of the senses must take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Then he will be victorious. So the victory or success in life can only be attained if we are approaching the Supreme Lord and take shelter at Him and work under His direction. And this is what Lord Shiva is doing. Therefore, He is Mahadev. And he is Vaishnava Yatha Shambhu, is the greatest of all the Vaishnavas, because he is always absorbed in pure devotional service, without any selfish motivation. But in the material world, everyone is selfish, and therefore there's always fight, there's always friction, and there's always so much fear. The fear in this material world is very deep. It is very deep in our existence. Nobody can actually say of the conditioned souls, I'm free of fear. Because as long we are embodied and in the modes of material nature and engaged in activities in this material world, we have to be afraid of something. And there are so many dangers. So many dangers are in this material world. Padam padam yat vipatam na tesham. Those who are intelligent, those who are devotee by nature or have good fortune to come in contact with devotee, with a pure devotee, their life will become successful. Because if we become servant of a pure devotee and we can satisfy him, pleasing him with not only with words, but with service attitude, with humility, and try to satisfy him by following his instructions, his advice, how to engage in a proper way for the pleasure, not of our sense gratification, but for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna, then our life will become successful. We become fearful. Therefore the Bhagavatam points out, Mahatsevam tvaram ahor vimukte tamotvaram yoshita sangisangam. Mahantasya samachita prashanta vimanyava surita sadavaye. So Bhagavatam points out, one has to do service to Mahat, to great soul. Mahat sevam tvaram ahor vimukte. Because if we are approaching a Mahanta or Mahatma, a great soul who is a devotee of the Lord, Mahat sevam tvaram ahor vimukte, then that will lead to freedom of material existence, of the bondage of Maya. Samsara davana lalita loka, tranaya karuna ganaganatvam. Material world is like forest fire. Prabhupada in purport describes material world is forest fire. So the only thing that can destroy or remove the dangerous fire from the forest, where all living entities are suffering and maybe die at any moment because of the fire, is a merciful cloud. Merciful cloud appearing above the fire and is pouring down the rain. So the Mahat, the great souls, they're like such a merciful cloud. And they can extinguishing the fire of material existence. And they can give us freedom from the bondage of material existence. What is it? Lust and greed, anger, illusion, fear, enviousness, jealousy, illusion. All these things become removed from the heart by the merciful instruction of the great souls, great souls who give us advice for our well-being. If we are serving the Tamodvaram Yoshita Sangha, if we serve the materialistic people who are only attached to women and to making elaborate plans for material happiness and enjoyment, if we are serving and associating with them and please the mammon, that means that just those who have money and power, to please them, that they can get some benefit from them, then we go to hellish condition, tamodvaram. It opens the gateway to tamaguna. So what is the quality of the Mahatma? Mahat sevantvaram mahanta seshama chita prashanta samachita. They are not in their mind, because the mind is always absorbed on the Lord, who is never in duality, who is as brilliant as the sun, and who never sees enemies and friends. Na sochati, na kankshati. So that the Lord, who never is anyone's real enemy or real friend or friend in the material sense, if we are serving Him, then one's mind is also not in duality, will not see enemy and friends. Samachita, becomes equal well-wisher and friend to all living entities. This is the most difficult, because in material world everyone thinks only about myself or my benefit, I am mine, and therefore we always see somebody is my friend and somebody is my enemy, and we can never be in peaceful situation. Always there's agitation in small way and in the big way. It's the same story. So the devotee who always sees the Lord in the Lord is not seeing only the Lord in the deity form. He also sees the Lord, worshipable Lord, in every living entity, and he sees every living entity as a part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So how he can be anyone's enemy? Then one only can be well-wishing, friendly, surit. Samachita, prashanta is very peaceful because his mind is fixed in the self and in the Supreme Lord and the self, the soul. He knows who he is, so he is prashanta. Krishna tells in the Bhagavad-Gita, the Stita Dimuni, who is always absorbed in the self and in the Supreme Lord within the heart, he never can see any duality. He is in peace, he is shanti. And he is liberated in the Brahma Nirvana, that means in the transcendental level of pure existence of the material, of spiritual life, in service of the Lord. There's no more material existence in such a devotee's heart. And so Prashanta, Vimaniva, Surida, he doesn't become angry. Vimaniva, Surida, so, and he is friendly to all living entities. Lord Kapila Dev tells the same thing about quality of a devotee. What is the verse? Didikshava, Karunika, Suridam, Sarvadehinam, Achata Shatrava, Shanta, Sadhava, Sadhu Bhushana. A devotee is not decorated with gold and diamonds. His decoration, or a turban, or a crown, or some valuable dresses. His body is decorated with the ornaments of a devotee. And this devotee ornaments or quality is Didikshava. He is very merciful, very kind to all living entities. Karunika he is merciful, kind to every, and this Didikshava, he is tolerating the urges of material existence, Vacha Vega, Manasa Krodha Vegam, and so on. So he has his body, mind, senses, everything under control, anger, like that, because he is always engaged, his mind and self in the devotional service. So he's not agitated, he's not, he's therefore Didikshava, tolerating. Even also as preachers or book distributors, one is try to help people in giving them the, books, transcendental knowledge, or telling them about Krishna, but some people, they become angry, they become upset. Someone has to tolerate and take humble position. Like I remember when Srila Prabhupada was in Germany in 1974, so he gave a devotees had a castle, and that time as a temple, Schloss Rettershof. And Srila Prabhupada came there, and the devotees arranged a public program. But in that region, there were mostly all aristocratic people, so-called. That means lawyers and doctors and, I don't know, all kinds of very educated people and rich people, they came. And then Srila Prabhupada was sitting, the devotees made a Vyasa-san for him, and Prabhupada was speaking in that public program about Varnashram Dharma, about problem in life is, we don't have the Varnashram. That means we don't have the system of Brahmanas. Because if we don't have the Brahmanas, we don't have the head of the society. Even if we have a very good, nice Vaishyas and Kshatriyas, rulers, and nice businessmen, and nice workers who are honest, who are not cheating, who are all in the devotional mood. If we don't have these Brahmanas, then the society will be chaotic. And then the question arises, so that means you are Brahmana, Immediately, because enviousness immediately comes, you know. Challenge will come. One of audience asked Prabhupada, "You are a Brahmana? Huh? You are a Brahmana? You're sitting on this high seat?" Huh? And then Prabhupada said, "No, I'm not Brahmana. I'm the servant of the servant of the servant of all of you." Huh? So that's Prabhupada's humility. And immediately he could take out, you know, the air, you know, the thick air from this person, out of jealousy. He could not see that somebody was sitting on a higher seat and tells, I'm an higher, and who preaches out of his compassion, I'm in the of position of Brahmana. He didn't tell that I'm the Brahmana. He only told that we have to have Brahminical society. Everyone can become a Brahmana. And knows who is Brahmana? He who knows Brahman, who knows the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and who is engaged in his devotional service. And then Srila Prabhupada, next day, they had another public program. He told the devotees, don't put Vyasa-san there anymore. I will sit only on a pillow, and I will speak. So the people will not become envious. But still people will become envious. They try to find fault. So therefore a great devotee, an acharya, like Lord Shiva, or anyone who is, knows about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is fully dedicated with body, mind and words in the devotional service of the Lord, he is always in transcendental position and is not visible, not understandable for the materialists, even for the demigods. Because the demigods belong to the second generation of creation. Shiva is first generation, because Shiva and Brahma, they appeared first. Although Shiva, so-called, appeared from between the eyebrows of Brahma when he got angry, but Shiva, like the Lord also appeared from the nose hole of Lord Brahma as Varahadev. So it doesn't mean that Lord Shiva is a creation of Brahma. Shiva has his own tattva, Shiva tattva. And he is the supreme guru for all living entities, for chara and achara, living, moving and non-moving. And therefore he is always well-wishing. Although because he is the ultimate creator, he is the creator and also the destroyer of the universe. And he is the spiritual master of the universe. Still, he is always situated in meditation, meditation about the Lord, and in this way he is praying and acting for the welfare of everyone. He doesn't have to travel around and preach. He can do this by his meditation, by his well-wishing. Sometimes he acts, sometimes he is not acting. Because people in the material world have difficult to understand a pure devotee. Vaishnavera kriya mudra vigayana puchaya. They have great difficulties, because they don't behave like they think we should behave. So they have, like Daksha Sampradaya, they have problem with Shiva, with the devotees of the Lord. Like Narada Muni also, because they are always engaging for the benefit of others. That's their nature. Like Prabhupada is describing here, is paradukha dukhi. A Vaishnava is paradukha dukhi, kripa maya. He's out of compassion, out of his mercy. He's always suffering if he sees others suffering. And he is happy if he sees others happy. That was also fully visible in Srila Prabhupada. In Srila Prabhupada we could see he came to the Western countries because he thought, I want to do something good for the people here. I want to make them happy. They have everything. They have nice education, money, wealth, the most powerful, very, very nice country, influential country, America. I want to come here. I see they're not happy because they're too much overwhelmed by these material opulences and so-called benefits of the material life. So I want to make them happy by giving them Krishna consciousness. So he was happy. He was unhappy about seeing others suffering, and he was happy when he see somebody is happy in Krishna consciousness. So a devotee like Srila Prabhupada, he could see even in the material, the people in the material world, although they have everything materially, they ultimately cannot be satisfied and happy because they have no peace of mind. They are fully possessed by greed and lust and illusions, and ultimately become overpowered by anger and destruction. So, although they don't see it now, they're mad. People cannot understand that they are suffering because of madness, of intoxication, of enjoying material existence. But the devotee, he is like a doctor who has to deal with crazy people, and he wants to help them to become normal, to become, or at least functional, that they can engage in the material world in a happy and satisfying mood without destroying each other, by being well-wisher. This was also the prayer of Prahlad Maharaj. Bhagavatam from 5th canto, 18th chapter, text 9. Svastyastu vishvasya kalu prasidata dhyayantu bhutani shivam mitodiya manascha padram pachatata dokshache abeshata no matir apya haituki. So he prayed for the good fortune, that there may be good fortune throughout the universe. And may all envious persons become pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing bhakti-yoga. For by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thought of Him. So, this is the desire of the devotee, that the people become happy, but not happy in material way. Like Prahlad Maharaj later on, he also prayed to to Lord Nrsingadev, I'm fine, I have no problem for myself, I have no suffering for myself, but I suffer because I'm seeing others suffering. This is my problem. I vod viche paraturatya vaitranyas tvatvira jnana mahamrita magna chitta. So chevi mukha sachetasa indriyata maya sukhayam bharam udvahato vimudhan. I'm fine because I'm always relishing the real Amrit. Amrit is not the Amrit of immortality, of material life. Amrit is Naivod viche paraturate vaitranas tvatvira mahamrita, maha amrita, magna chitta, because my consciousness is always absorbed in the nectar of devotional service. So I'm happy for myself, but I see that many fools and rascals who are not happy now, they make elaborate plans for happiness and immortality. For them I'm praying, for them I pray to you. Please make them your devotees. Yasya deva, like by the mercy of the Lord, the Lord we receive Spiritual Master, and by the mercy of Spiritual Master we receive Krishna. Therefore Prabhupada says it's like a parallel line, like a train. We have to be thankful and surrender to Guru, and at the same time also to Krishna. It's like two tracks. Someone who is only surrendered to Guru and not Krishna, it's not nice, Prabhupada says. And if one is only surrendered to Krishna without Guru, it's also not perfect. So the perfect safe track is the track like a train who wants to attain the goal, that we simultaneously worship Guru and Krishna. Yasya Devi Para Bhaktir Yatha Devi Yatha Gurau. And then, in this way, all the confidence of our confidential knowledge and secrets of devotional service and the secret of a devotee's life, a pure devotee's life, will become revealed to us. We can understand. Otherwise, not understandable. Devotional service is a mystery, and this mystery is only opened if we receive the key to the treasure house of love to Krishna and of the treasure house of pure devotional service. And this key Guru has. By mercy of Lord Chaitanya, he brought the key, he broke up the storehouse of love of God, and with his associates together, who all became his extensions or expansions, he was preaching and spreading love to Krishna everywhere. And flooded the whole world with this Krishna consciousness. That means everyone gets an opportunity. In the pranam of Sanatana Goswami, it is stated, Vairagya yuk bhakti rasam prayatnair abhayayan mam anapipshum andham kripambudir yakpara dukkha dukhi sanatanastam prabhum ashrayami. I was unwilling to drink the nectar of devotional service, possessed of renunciation, Vairagya, but Sanatana Goswami, out of his causeless mercy, made me drink it, even though I was unable to do so. Therefore, he is an ocean of mercy, he is very much compassionate to fallen souls like me, and thus it is my duty to offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet and take shelter of him. So if one is saved by the mercy of a devotee, of his compassion, if one is saved, the only thing what a follower or disciple can do, show thankfulness, appreciation, bowing down to him, and ask how I can serve you, how can I please you. So the Spiedel Master, in all the Sampradayas, Shiva also has his Sampradaya. Many great personalities appeared in Shiva's Sampradaya, like Bilwa Mangala Thakur, Sridhar Swami, the original commentator of Srimad Bhagavatam. He was appeared in the Rudra Sampradaya as a follower of Vishnu Swami, and Vallabha Bhatta, or Vallabhacharya, who is very prominent here in Vrindavan. He is also took initiation in the Rudra Sampradaya of Vishnu Swami. There are three Vishnu Swami in the Rudra Sampradaya. Because the Sampradaya always goes through difficulties. They have some good time and they have some crisis. And then the Sampradaya becomes distinct, especially after the Acharya disappears. So the first Vishnu Swami in the Rudra Sampradaya appeared about 300 years before Jesus Christ's appearance. That means our time calculation that means more than 2,000 years ago. Actually, due to him, Lord Jagannath worship in Jagannath Puri became established again, because the Lord Jagannath from the temple was kidnapped by the Buddhists 200 or 300 years before Christ. The Buddhists they kidnapped and claimed Jagannath, Subhadra, and Baladev, they are our worshipable Godhead, or Devatas, what they worship. And therefore, the father of Vishnu Swami, how we say it, got this Jagannath, Subhadra, and Baladev back from the Buddhists. He conquered them, he defeated them, and he established the worship in the Jagannath temple again. And therefore, Vishnu Swami, his son, the first Vishnu Swami, his Adi Vishnu Swami, Adi Vishnu Swami, he established the worship of Lord Jagannath and the worship of Lord Nrsingadev, the worship of the Supreme Lord Vishnu in his Sampradaya. And a big part of Buddhism was, I would say, counteracted by his teachings. And he made also a commentary, commentary of Vedanta Sutra, Brahma Sutras, known as Sarvagya Sutra. Sarvagya Sutra. And Rudra Sampradaya is Shuddha Advaita. Originally there's Advaita Vada. But Advaita Vada is a school of Mayavadis, of Shankaracharya. And to make a distinction between Advaita Vada of Shankara, so Vishnu Swami Sampradaya later on changed their Sampradaya, their philosophical name in Shuddha Advaita. Shuddha Advaita. That means purified monism. To make it very clear that Krishna or Vishnu is God, living entity is part and parcel of him, can never become like him, only is an eternal servant. A material world is real in the sense that it is the Lord's energy and it should be engaged in the Lord's service. That's also a teaching of the Sarvagya Sutra by Adi Vishnu Swami. And the Mayavadi became known as Kevala Advaita, the Kevala Advaita Vadis, Monis, merging in the Brahman. And then the second Vishnu Swami appeared. Second Vishnu Swami appeared about 8th century, 700 something. In that years, the second Vishnu Swami appeared. And it seems to be about the Bilva Mangala Thakur, he became initiated or took shelter in that line of Vishnu Swami. And the third Vishnu Swami appeared short before Lord Chaitanya. That means 14th century. The third Vishnu Swami. That means the Sampradaya always became extinct, and then the Lord, because the Lord is always taking care that the Sampradaya is going on, so he sends another empowered Acharya who will rejuvenate and to inaugurate the new, the old Sampradaya, who is already very, very long, very old. It is one of the oldest Sampradayas in this world, to preach devotional service for the benefit of all living entities. So this is the Lord's interest. Therefore, he always sends some empowered devotee that the Sampradaya is going on. So there are 4 Sampradayas: Brahma, Rudra, Shri, and Kumara. So all 4 are authorized because of their mantra. The mantra given by them is speaking about the worship mantra of the Lord, not the Hare Krishna mantra, but the mantra like Gopal mantra is given by them, is authorized and everyone who takes initiation in such a sampradaya, their progress in devotional service, in love to the Lord, will become established. So, yeah. So therefore, since time immemorial, there are sampradayas, these four Vaishnava sampradayas in this world, who give us guidance in spreading Krishna consciousness and doing good for others. And so we are very lucky that we got the opportunity, by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, to take shelter in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. So our therefore duty is to assist our acharyas to fulfill their desire and their great suffering of unhappiness of the people. We have to relieve them by helping them to spread Krishna consciousness. Although we maybe don't have this feeling now, but if you just meditate about the Acharya's compassion and great mercy, it becomes reflected in you, and you can become instrumental in spreading this Krishna consciousness in a very successful way. That's the only way how we can become instrumental, by meditating about the Acharya's mercy and compassion and suffering of suffering of others. And if we are reflecting that in ourselves, because we are thinking about this personality, this quality becomes manifested in us, and we can also become instrumental in doing something very valuable by distributing books and by giving holy name and information about Krishna to others in that mood, not in the mood of enjoyment, in the mood of compassion and mercy. This material world, nobody has real compassion and mercy, because everything is materially motivated, it's selfish. But if we are reflecting the compassion and mercy of a pure devotee and acharya, that is real compassion and mercy. And only that can save ourselves and can save the world. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Sima Bhagavatam Ki Jai. His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki. Maybe any question? Yeah. You need a microphone? Srila Prabhupada writes, the Rudra Sampradaya is not very much prominent today. It is in the original way. In the original way, it's rarely found. There are some we can find in Vrindavan. There are some representatives of Rudra Sampradaya, but this is how we say not so very clear. But Vallabhacharya, because they're a branch of Rudra Sampradaya, but they're like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, he says that they're quite different from the original idea and worship method of the Adi Vishnu Swami. So there's Vallabha Sampradaya, Pushti Marg. They worship Krishna in childhood. With motherly and parental affection. They're also from this sampradaya, but they're a branch. Like Gaudiya Vaishnava, we are a branch of Madhva sampradaya, coming from Brahma. You had a question? Yeah, because everything comes from spirit, nothing comes from matter. Without the spiritual energy, without Brahman, as support of the material energy, there is no material existence. Material existence is, unconscious. It is achit. Only spiritual energy is chit shakti. Without the presence of chit shakti, achit shakti cannot maintain. It has no benefit, has no life. Therefore, we cannot exist in this material world only on achit shakti. We need chit shakti. And the living entities, they're manifestation of chit shakti. They are not achit shakti. Therefore, the bewildering is, the confusion is, the achit jivas, who are the chit jivas, that means who belong to the spiritual energy, taking shelter in achit shakti. That means unconscious material energy. There the problem starts, because we are eternal, but the material energy is temporary, the manifestation. The energy is also eternal, because it is also energy, Shakti, of the Lord. But because it is separated, apara, para and apara prakriti, because it is separated from the, it is not in yoga or in harmony with the Lord, the material energy is creating troubles to the embodied living entities. Therefore they become confused and bewildered and they suffer. Srila Vyasadeva, he saw that. He got this vision, of the Lord, the material energy, the jivas. He saw all the tattvas, and he realized and he understood the jivas, they actually belong to the Lord, but because of their separated mentality to enjoy or exploiting the material nature, they fall victim of the Maya. Maya cannot cover or influence the Lord because she is like shadow. She is behind the Lord. She can never approach Him. She is very shy, very distant. But the jivas she covers. Especially those who are in this contact since time immemorial with the material energy, with this achit shakti, with the material energy Maya, temporary energy. Therefore we always overcome by the fear, because we have emotion, we have love, we have affection, we have desires, we have plans. We don't want to die because we actually don't die, but then birth, old age, disease and death constantly takes place, friction, no shelter is taking place, families falling apart, love plans, relationships falling apart. It's crazy time, especially in Kali Yuga. For Prabhupada told devotees should go back to Godhead, back to Krishna in this life. Don't come back in Kali Yuga again. It will not become better, it becomes worse. We are not even in the beginning of Kali Yuga now, we are in the overlapping time, in the Sandhya. Just imagine when real Kali Yuga starts. Then Prabhupada told, in that time no devotee should be present anymore. Only for the next 10,000 years, but after that not anymore. Because that's Sandhya time, the next 10,000 years. It's not real Kali Yuga, it's Sandhya, it's an overlapping time. But then when the real Kali Yuga starts, then people, they're not people anymore, they become like animals and worse. Barbarians and completely degraded, eating up themselves, and no happiness in that time. There's nothing left to preach Krishna consciousness because people will not understand. Now, still, it's possible. Therefore, we should use the time to do something good for the people, for the living entities now, to give them Krishna consciousness. A little more clear now? Or?
Yes, thank you. It helps a lot. Thank you. Prabhupada explained that the difference between spiritual world and material world.
Yeah.
That in the spiritual world there is not a struggle, there is no duality.
No duality.
In the material world there is it.
Yeah. Therefore, we make distinction between Nirguna and Saguna. Nirguna Brahman and Saguna Brahman. We have Brahman Nirguna, that means no material qualities, no duality. But we have Brahman in the material world, it's called Saguna Brahman. That means it becomes the carrier of the material energy of duality. But it doesn't become influenced by itself. Brahman always stays transcendental, pure. Brahman never becomes achit or unconscious or troublesome. That's the level of peace. Therefore, Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma na sochati na kankshati samak sarveshu bhuteshu mabhaktim labhate param. If the mind becomes peaceful and absorbed in the transcendence, in Brahma Bhuta, then from that devotional service will start. Now we are practicing devotional service. Sadhakas, we are sadhakas, try to become purified and attain the transcendental level. Mayavadis, they also accept sadhana. They worship deities, they chant Hare Krishna or other mantras, but ultimately they give it up. They see it as something temporary. They have no faith in the deity. They ultimately have no faith in deity, in the mantra, even in their guru. They give a kick and establish themselves now as acharya or guru or avatar. Okay, Hare Krishna. Glory to Prabhupada.